Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk less chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin', let's go.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy Rashad, one half of the Panther Nation podcast, and Dave, meanwhile, is in Florida. He's taking his vacation. Y'all know he a part-time coach. He left his ballers hanging to go to Disney. So shout out to Dave. So I had to make a call. To my man Carlo. Carlo, what's good with you? Welcome back to PNP. What's good, man?
What's up, Shad? It's always good to be around the family, the PNP family, man. And shout out to Dave and Disney World spending all his money.
Yeah, spending
all the money he got off the underdog fantasy thing. That's what
facts. Spending all his cash. Definitely didn't quite get the $225K he was looking for, but yeah, he out in these streets. So shout out to Dave, man. Again, abandoned the squad to go enjoy himself at Disney. Man, I can't believe he did that in the playoffs too.
Man.
In the playoffs, they in the playoffs too. It's crazy,
nasty.
Yeah, super nasty. ACAS says, "Hey, Dave, looking a little different, isn't he?" Shout out to Carlo, man. They love you, Carlo. Welcome back to the
love him back, man. He's my peeps.
Yeah, man. All right. So before we get into it, a couple things to talk about today. We're gonna go over. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the Brian Burns news because that kind of hit today. How they're not close on the deal. Basically, nothing has changed. We're gonna talk about the rest of the coaching staff. The coaching staff is filled out a little bit, and then we'll talk about our offensive side of the football. What we're looking like heading into free agency in the draft. Kind of see where those where we need some help, where the needs are. And then compare that to the top 10 free agents at each position. So got a lot of work to do. We got a lot to get through today. So bear with us as we get through all this, man. But before we get into that, I got to ask you, since Dave isn't here, we know how his weekend is going because he's out there in Disney.
Yeah.
Carlo, how was your weekend? Man?
Man, weekend was good, man. It was daddy daycare over here. My wife went to New Hampshire to visit her sister for her birthday. So she went up there, and so it was me and the little one. So it's been a wild ride, man. You know what I mean? Just taking care of our 17-month-old. So I'm glad she's back.
Yeah,
I'm glad she's back for sure. And we can get back to it, man. But it was cool just bonding with little man.
Yeah. So personal question. You don't got to ask. You don't have to answer this publicly. But was that your first time, being solo?
No.
For the week? Okay.
It wasn't my first time. Okay. It wasn't my first time. The first time I went solo, he was young. He might have been like 6 months or whatever, and I was freaking out then. So this is not my first time, man. I'm a vet out here when it comes to that. So I was prepared. I felt good going into it.
Shout out to that, because I never forget the first time I was left solo with my baby. It's tough.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Tough. That first time when she got back, I was like,
Woo! Yeah, yeah, facts, yeah, facts. But anyway, yeah, man, my bad. I didn't mean to get personal, but I thought that's pretty funny because I remember the first time I did that, man. It's scary, bro.
Hey,
it's scary. Waking up every couple hours, checking it. Yeah, you can't sleep. Can't sleep. So that's
Thanks.
funny. But anyway, my weekend, I didn't do much. I had to go do some work, some handyman work at these daycares that we own. So you know how
Okay.
that go, man. Nothing too much. Just a little slight work. Watch some college basketball, a little bit of basketball here and there.
Yeah.
Not too much going on, man. I've been chilling. I've been loving the low key weekends. Not too much going on, and I appreciate it because it's about to pick up for me
Oh yeah.
personally. We got dance season getting ready to kick off.
You on that stage
So
again?
not me. I don't know. They talking about they talking about defending the title. I
Uh-oh.
don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know.
Hey, man,
We'll see.
you got to defend that title. You know, you didn't get the title for the popcorn, man. You got to defend your title somewhere, bro.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, man. Shout out to all the dance dads out there. Competition season is getting ready to pick up for us. So I'll be in a new city every weekend at dance competitions. They're great. I have a blast, man. The dance family is definitely cool. It's a bond. We in this together.
Oh
We in the
yeah.
struggle together, bro. So it's
Gang,
super
gang.
dope. Yeah, straight up. Yeah, all the dance dads, man. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. All right, let's go ahead and get into this, man. There is somebody that needs to remain on the prowl, because it's it ain't looking too good for his situation. All he can do is proud. He's pursuing some money in his dream, right? He wants that dream. He's pursuing it. All he can do is be positive at the moment. He's trying to overcome the obstacle that is the Carolina Panthers. He's
Mm-hmm.
hard to overcome said obstacle, but he loves what he does at the same time.
And yeah.
So shout out to Brian Burns. He is actually on the prowl. So I gotta, all he can do at this point is do that.
The
So
prowler of the day.
facts, proud of the day. Shout out to Brian Burns. Give me 1 second. Let me get this present straight. Why is it not letting me present this? All right, let's go this way. All right.
These comments are funny.
Yeah, man. All right, real quick. My bad. I had to.
No, you good, bro?
Why that wasn't working? I'm rusty. Here we go. All right, here we go. Shout out to Brian Burns. That's all he can do. Stay on the prowl. But anyway, let's get it. Why did it go to video? That's crazy. All right, let me stop sharing real quick. Get this right. That is wild.
They don't want you to pause, shot.
They don't. It's crazy. It's
They don't want
crazy. Okay, here we go. I got it. It's Canva switched up on me, man. My bad. Canva switched up on me. I know I
Okay,
use
know
Canva
Canva.
crazy.
Canva.
Yeah, it like switched the icon on me. I didn't know what the present league was. My bad. Anyway, my apologies for the delay. But again, Brian Burns, all he can do is remain on the prowl. So all right. So Brian Burns, it's reported that obviously no progress has been made since the start of the season, right? We're at the exact same spot we were at the start of the season where they're far apart. This is a Bleacher Report that came out. They are far apart on a deal. To me, this does not seem like it's going to happen. Carlo, what you got, man? What you thinking?
Man, this is a tough one, bro. It's a tough one for a lot of different reasons. One, that in this part of the season, this offseason, reporters are grasping like Mr. Fantastic stretching for any type of information to report on. And so I go into everything that I read with that understanding of like this could be somewhat true or this could be completely capped. With that being said, it's the same thing we heard before that he was looking for a certain so it was no new news. I think the only bad thing we're hearing is that like, hey, they're not anywhere right now. We have to keep in mind that Brant Taylor's literally just got into the office not too long ago after winning a Super Bowl. And so I think they're still in early negotiations. This is the first day for franchise tag. So of course they're going to try to find some information for Burns. At the end of the day, man, like I can never, clown anybody for trying to go get their money. Like, go get your money, man. This is going to be the biggest contract that you can get. and he played off of like a lot of injury. We already know about the reasons why he was very careful with playing this past season. So with that being said, man, I think we have to, as a Panthers fans and as the Panther organization, we got to do what's best for us. Like they said, and like Taraji said, keep me first, Lucius. We got to keep ourselves first in this case. So with that being said, man, it sounds like a tag and trade is going to happen. And I hate it, man. Like I rock with Brian Burns. You don't find a lot of good pass rushers as good. Any really elite pass rushers, they don't come often. But hopefully we can find some middle ground, man.
Yeah, I just find it really difficult. This is a really tough situation because on one hand, you want to keep a guy like Brian Burns around. But at the same time, like you said, we got to do what's best for the Panthers. And bro, 30 million is a lot of, and again, I know at the beginning of the season, I was like 30 mil, pay it. But as the season progressed, like, bro, like he just was not, like, the production just was not there. I mean, you look at the elite level pass rushes in the game, they're 15, 16, 20 sacks. It's like, bro, you not even like you in the single digits. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like you're not even close. You know what I mean? So like I get where the Panthers are coming from, but at the same time, this could be a situation because, like you said, it's documented he wasn't playing, as he should because of whatever, protecting himself from injury, playing on that franchise tag. Obviously, there is some risk that comes with that.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like we could see another guy I have to cheer against. Another guy I might have to put hater mode on because he goes to another squad
and ball.
And he's out here shining. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to turn hater mode all the way up. And it's gonna pain me to do that because I'm a Brian Burns fan since before he became to Carolina. I've been watching this man since he was at Florida State. I've been watching him for a long, long time. And it's gonna pain me to turn the hater mode up, but I will do it. Nobody's safe. There is nobody safe. Once you leave the confines of the borders of the Carolinas, it's over for you and me. Like it's a wrap. Yeah, I mean, so I hope that they find some sort of compromise, but it does not appear that's going to be the case. And I think like everybody's saying, tag him. Yeah, franchise tag is $23 million, which is about what we were offering last year anyway. So he doesn't have much leverage in the situation other than just holding out. I cannot see him coming back and doing what he did last year, playing for the team. That's done. He's not doing that again.
He shouldn't.
He's not doing that again.
Yeah, this is a tough one, bro. I wish the best for him, and I hope that it does work out. But that franchise tag is going to kill our cap space if we decide to do that.
Yeah, which makes it difficult, right? Because we don't have a lot of cap space. We can still, I think we can create. And I haven't done a breakdown yet, but I can get us. If you start, June 1 cutting and you start restructuring, you can get us. You could probably get us to about 50.
I saw even
with that. Yeah, even with about 50, you franchise tag him. That's 23 million gone. That's half of that gone, right? And you can still, again, we know that the cap, you can manipulate the cap, but we don't know what Brant Tillis. This is a whole new situation. Right. We don't know Samir Suleiman, those cap games that they were doing with the restructures. We gotta wait to see how these contracts are gonna be structured. That's gonna be interesting for me to see from a cap guy, the guy that likes the numbers.
Yeah,
how are they going to structure these contracts? Because again, Suleiman and Fitterer, they were willing to kick that can a little bit. They were adding those 40 years. They did that. And that's kind of, taking a page out the Saints handbook. I don't know that Brant Tillis is going to be willing to do that. So we'll see, man. We going to see. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting situation.
No, that's real. And I think the biggest thing we have to keep in mind, too, is that we have to give Brant Tillis some time. Like, this man is really fixing Samir Suleiman's things because they probably do things totally different. So we got to give him some time. And I think Brent, we have to allow him some time to cook because we saw what he did with DJ Chark's contract, and now he's having some cap hits hit, even though he's not even really going to be on the team. And if he would have worked, then it would have been like, Samir Suleiman, you're a genius, right? Because now we were able to kind of extend him, and then that's taken care of, but it didn't work. So now things are looking really, really bad based off of what the cap space looks like right now. So we'll see, man. Hopefully we can figure something out. But right now, the clouds are gray, man. It's about to rain.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think that, Tillis, again, it comes from the top. And what do I be saying, bro? I be saying, I've been saying this.
It's on you on some record.
David Tepper loves him some Bryce Young. Dave Tepper is telling Tillis, right? I can guarantee you these conversations are happening. Hey, Tillis, bro, we want Burns, and we want to try to figure this out and structure it the right way. But I need to put my resources in protecting Bryce Young. I need to put my resources into getting Bryce Young some weapons. Though that's where the resources are going. I don't see us pumping a lot of energy and money into the defense. We've seen what Evero can do with less.
Right.
Why not continue to challenge him and take resources away and put those resources into the offense and have a mid-level defense and then throw out a top, bro? That's what I think is gonna happen, bro.
I know, bro. It just don't sound good. It doesn't sound good, man. Like why would we challenge? Like Evero's already been challenged, bro. Our whole secondary was hurt at one point. Like we had so many of our stars hurt. Why we need to challenge somebody? Like he's already proven himself that he can do it. Why not give him the tools to be successful? Why we gotta say, oh, we're gonna take away your hammer, we're gonna take away your drill. Let's see if you can build a house now. Like it's not fair. It's not fair to Evero. It's not fair to the defensive staff. He came back because he believed in it. And it's not fair. Honestly, let's be real. It's not fair to Brian Burns as well, who still played under that and still was a captain and still tried his best to give his all to a certain extent. But life's not fair. Let's just be real too.
I was gonna say that, bro. It's a bit. At the end of the day, this is a business.
Yep.
And I wish a lot of things could be run different. Again, I 1000% support Brian Burns and him getting his bag, because if it was me, I would be doing the exact same thing he's doing. So let me be on record with that. But I also 1000% see where the Panthers are coming from too. Like I see it from both. I get it. Like people don't. It's easy for people to say, "Hey, just pay him." Like, "Hey, just get it done." Like, But unless you understand how the numbers work and how the cap works, once you start to pull back those layers of the cap and understand the long-term plan and the long-term goals and what the Panthers are trying to do, and we don't know just yet. We don't know what's going to happen, but I do know it appears that Brian Burns does not appear to be in the long-term plans for the Carolina Panthers. They didn't want to pay him last year. I'm sure David Tepper and at the top of it is like, nah, we can't. And like I said, at the end of the day, man, we've seen Evero work even outside in Denver. When he was at Denver, he worked without an elite pass rusher, bro. He's been able to put together top 10 defenses without an elite pass rusher. That's how good Evero has been. In his second year, I expected to get better. And I believe now that Evero is back, I believe that they're going to challenge Evero to do just that potentially without a Brian Burns, which could mean that we're going to spend draft resources on maybe everybody wants the wide receiver at 33. Maybe it's the pass rusher at 33 because we're letting Burns walk. Yeah. So we'll see, man. We'll see, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
At the end of the day, bro, this is how I feel. Like, granted, do I want Brian Burns on this team? Absolutely. I'm going on record to say I absolutely want him on this team. The only thing that I feel a little better on is the fact that we're not letting him walk for nothing. Like, there's an opportunity for us to tag and trade because, the Panthers are good for letting somebody walk for nothing. So at least we'll get something out of that.
Bro. I just think the tag and trade is real unrealistic, bro. I don't think
No, I feel you.
I just don't know that it sounds good. It sounds good, but us, tagging them, trading them, having somebody pick up and giving us 2 first-round picks, all that. That's not good. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that 2 first-round picks ship the sale, bro.
Yeah, because we had our chance with LA. We declined, and then we declined again, allegedly. So, and here's the thing: speaking of allegedly, who knows if it's actually 30 mil? We don't know. These are all speculations.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all speculation. We gotta go. What's out there? The non-exclusive tag, same thing. Even with that, even with the non-exclusive tag, you gotta get. I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Yeah. I don't see it, bro. It sounds good. He can go out there and negotiate with another team, but you still you got to give up those picks.
Right.
It's not that simple, bro. It's not that simple just to say, okay, sure, go negotiate with other teams, but at the end of the day, they got to give up the picks. Hell, people didn't even do that for Lamar Jackson, a quarterback, bro.
Facts.
They didn't do it for him. If they didn't do it for him,
but here's
bro,
the thing,
it's highly unlikely they're not going to do it for Burns.
Facts. And here's the thing too, Shad, that people have to keep in mind too. This is why, like, I feel like I said this on Thursday on the pregame podcast. In my past life, I felt like I would have been a GM for a football team. Because I enjoy, just like you do, I enjoy seeing how everything works. If we're going to look to tag and trade, do you think GMs are going to come out and say, I'll give you 2 first rounds? No, they know your back is in a corner.
Right.
Your back is against the wall. They're not going to give up 2 first rounds now because they know you're trying to trade them. So like
we have no leverage. They have no leverage. So it's a mess. This situation has been fumbled. And like A-Cat, real quick, shout out to White Chocolate Espresso. He says, is Burns a game changer or a game manager? Great question. That's a great question. You know, in regards to, you know, this is kind of a playoff of what Cam Newton was doing. I believe that Burns could be. I believe he was when we had Hassan Reddick. Okay. But does that put you in a game changer situation because you need somebody else? I don't know if that puts you in game changer tier. He might be like a level 2. He's not like a level 1 elite game changer. I believe he's more like a level 2, level 3 game changer.
I mean, we get into like the level 1, level 2, which I didn't know there was levels to it.
I just threw that in there. I just added that in.
I like it though. I like it, but I didn't know his levels. I gotta give him game changer, bro. I gotta give him game changer. Like at the end of the day, even with his stats, he's still top 10. People, we have to keep in mind if you're looking at film, looking at the all 22, they are really scheming towards and against Brian Burns. Like they're making sure that he's getting double teamed a lot. A lot of things are not going his way. And so for me, that speaks game changer because you're literally changing the scheme and the scope of the game. So I got to give him game changer for that.
Yeah, shout out to A-Cash. So basically, Burns is not in a long-term plan, but we turned down some very good trade offers for him. Again, that was it's a year-to-year league, bro. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. A real big brain move by our front office, and that's why neither one of those guys are in the. That's why the front office is cleaned up for that example right there. And he says, I guess a tag and trade is something, but still, a tag and trade. You're gonna get some picks. It still comes with picks. I just don't see it. I don't see it, bro. And again, people keep saying the non-exclusive. The non-exclusive still comes with picks in exchange. People gonna have to pay and give up picks. That's not happening. That's a double whammy, bro. It rarely happens. I don't think I've ever seen it happen. I've never seen a non-exclusive tag picked up.
Nah, most of them get a contract. They work on a contract. It's probably happened, but I can't think of it right now.
Omar, this is true. Omar says Lamar won a guarantee money though. I think a contending team would maybe give up for him. Lions, Ravens, a team trying to get over that hump. Maybe you're right. That's a good point. That is a good point. Lamar did want the guarantee money, which does change things.
It does.
It's a very, very good point. Very good point. So I can't hate on that. Maybe we'll see. You
got an MVP though.
You got an MVP. I'm sure there's a lot of people kicking themselves in the butt about that, and I think this wouldn't be the first time the Panthers kick themselves in the butt in a trade or scenario where we've given up somebody. So even though I was proponent of the last one, I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah. But anyway, Double O Kane says Burns ain't cut from the TJ Miles, Micah Cloth. They wreck games in crunch time. Spidey disappears. Love the man. Go get your bag. Just not here. Harsh words.
Very interesting.
Harsh words. Ethan, man, I appreciate this. He says, how do you feel about trading him to the Lions for the 29th pick and Jameson Williams? That sounds nice, but it takes 2 to tango, fam.
Right. They're not doing that.
If they willing to give that up, maybe that's a first-round pick and a solid wide receiver.
They still got to pay Aiden soon.
I don't know.
They're not going to pay him what he wants, and then they got to pay Aiden. as well. It's coming up soon. I don't know, bro. It'd be great to have both of them, but I don't know what their cap space look like.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I do not know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm hoping for the best, man. I'm hoping for the best. I am. I am hoping for the best. I hope we can figure something out that works for both parties. We know Burns wants to be here, so it's not like he is asking for a lot just to get traded. Like he wants to be here. We know that. But we'll see, man. Hopefully they can work some magic.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, tag and trade. There is a history of the tag and trade working. Just real quick, briefly, the Jaguars, Yannick Ngakoue, they tagged and traded him in 2020. They got a let's see, they got a second round pick in 2021 and a conditional 5th round pick in 2022. And in that pick, they acquired that 2021 pick became the 45th overall pick, and he ended up getting traded again to Minnesota. Texans, Jadeveon Clowney, he got tagged and traded as well. So yep, he got tagged and traded. So there is a history of this happening. But y'all not gonna like what y'all not gonna like what they got in exchange. So y'all saying I sound crazy with the tag and trade, but y'all gonna be looking crazy when we don't get shit back. You know what I mean? So it can happen, of course. It can happen, but we ain't gonna be getting what y'all think. So the Texans, they sent Jacob Martin and Benjavis Mingo and a 2020 3rd-round pick to get ugly. Frank Clark was another one they got traded. Seahawks traded Frank Clark in a 2019 3rd-round pick to Kansas City in exchange for a 2019 1st-round pick and a 2019 3rd-round pick in 2020. So that's not bad. That's not bad right there.
Who was that for?
That was for Frank Clark.
I mean, yeah, Frank Clark he was solid.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not
bad.
That's not bad. So it has happened. It has happened. It has happened. It has happened. So we'll see.
We'll see. If somebody really wants them, they'll make it happen. But let's hope for the best.
We'll see what happens. All right. So that is again, man, it just sucks being in this scenario every single year, man.
Facts, bro. We can't get right, man.
We can't get it right. We can't get it. Man, if we could flip them for a 1st and a 2nd and a 3rd and something crazy like that, then maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. Here we go. Yeah, there you go, Jared. How are people calling him average and wanting 2 first-round picks for him?
Man.
Bro, preach. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. So that is that. Preach on that one. Preach on that one. All right, let's keep it moving, man. We have filled out our coaching staff, and it looks like we got a lot of Seahawks cats. The Seahawks, we clowned the Buffalo Bills for taking all our guys and turned to the Carolina Bills. But now it looks like we are the Carolina Seahawks at this point, based on our coaching staff. So a lot of former Seahawks guys. Start with Nathan Carroll, who is the son of Pete Carroll, I believe.
Yep.
Who's a pass game coordinator. Pat McPherson, tight end coach. I'm not going to butcher my man's name right there as an assistant offensive line coach. And even picked up Scott Cooper, who is the director of coaching development, which is very interesting.
That one. I missed that one.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one. Director of coaching development. Have no idea what that means, but apparently they're going to try to get a pipeline going here. Gonna try to get a pipeline. Yeah, try to get a pipeline. Unfortunately, that pipeline won't consist of too many. We got a couple minorities. Harold Godwin is a guy who doesn't need development. He's been on a lot of teams. He's got a couple Super Bowl rings. Rob Moore, wide receiver coach. He could develop in the Parmalee, but these guys are older. They've been around for a while. We got some guys on the defense: Jonathan Cooley, D'Angelo Hall, Tim Labaku. Some of those guys could be potentially developed. Darren Bates, another guy who we just picked up. Obviously, I'm happy for him too. He said he just took his took his headshot. He does not have a headshot. Hadn't taken one in like 6 years, and now has a headshot. So shout out to him. He was talking about that on Twitter, man.
Oh yeah, he's very active on Twitter. I rock with him.
Extremely active. Extremely active.
I rock
Extremely
with
active
Darren
on Twitter.
Gotta get him on the show.
So anything, yeah, I'm gonna try. We'll try to get him on the show. And he's used to pod, and he has his own pod.
Right.
So what do you got any thoughts on these guys? Any thoughts on these?
I think I really like the Pat McPherson one. I know he has a good record in terms of his coaches. I know he's worked with before Seattle, it was Denver as well. And he is also the son of Bill McPherson, who was an NFL assistant coach a long time. The one that I'm really shocked about and I didn't even know about this. I missed the Scott Cooper one, so I don't know much about Scott Cooper, but I'm excited about that for multiple reasons. One, we can definitely develop our young coaches. Like if you're thinking about Brad Idzik, right? His first time as offensive coordinator, you got a Scott Cooper who can help develop him and get him to where he needs to be. But the biggest thing I'm excited about is the fact that it can help develop hopefully our next defensive coordinator. So we know that Evero is going to end up getting a head coaching position. He's going to definitely take most of his staff with him, but somebody can have the potential to be developed to be ready for that defensive coordinator position, whether it's Jonathan Cooley or somebody else. And so hopefully we can use Scott to develop these people, and we can keep few of them in a bigger position moving forward, so we can kind of keep that same stability at the 3-4 defense.
Yeah, just a real quick bio on some of these guys. Nathan Carroll, he has been with the Seahawks for since 2011 to 2013, or excuse me, 2023. He was the defensive assistant, offensive assistant, assistant wide receivers coach, and a senior offensive assistant through that time. So he's been around the Seahawks for a long time, a lot of experience, and obviously he's been around, coaching all his life. Pat McPherson, who was the tight ends coach for Seattle 2010 through 2023. So he's been around for a long, long time. But who were some of the tight ends that he coached? I mean, was some good tight. I know Greg went through had a short stint with the Seahawks at some point during that time. I'm trying to think of that. Was there any very good tight ends that came through that room? I know Fant.
I don't know.
Trying to think.
I need to look it up. And he's a two-time Super Bowl champion.
Yep, Super Bowl champion. Prior to that, he was with the Broncos from 1998 to 2008. Defensive assistant, offensive assistant, quarterbacks coach, and tight ends coach. So he's been around the game for a long, long time. A lot of experience here, and that's important. When you got young head coaches and young guys out there, you need some old heads in the building just to kind of level set and keep things even keel. So I like the Pat McPherson hire a lot. I think that's a good hire. Let's see. My man, I'm a butcher his name, man. I'm not gonna try. He's been around the Seahawks for 3 years, 2020.
It's like Calais. I think it's Calais.
Yeah, you got it. He
looked like he needs to be on the offensive line. Like we need him.
Facts.
We need him to put on the pads, man.
Facts. 2020 to 2023, he was offensive assistant coach, and assistant offensive line coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, and then Darren Bates, we talked about him already, and Scott Cooper. There isn't necessarily a bio out on him just yet, but yeah, man, that's Scott Cooper. It's gonna be very interesting.
And I forgot Jimmy Graham is probably the one of the people he did the tight ends. That's when Jimmy Graham was Jimmy Graham.
But yeah, was he really Jimmy Graham with the Seahawks though? I feel like once he left the Saints, he wasn't.
He
was okay.
I'm looking at his stats. He has the most receiving yards for a tight end. He has 2,000 receiving yards. He had 18 touchdowns in 43 games played.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it wasn't the Saints Jimmy Graham, but he did a little work.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the names. Yeah, Jimmy Graham, Luke Wilson,
Will Disley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was okay. That was some nice
Gerald Everett, but that wasn't
Even
long.
what's crazy, and I just saw this. Stephon Sullivan was an undrafted free agent with the Seahawks. And
Interesting.
I don't remember because I know he had flipped to defensive end at one point. And I don't know if he was defensive end with Seattle first and then went to tight end. I can't remember what he was doing with Seattle. But that could be very interesting if he actually did some tight end work with Pat McPherson out there
Yeah,
in
that would say
Seattle.
a lot. That would say a lot.
Because listen,
I think he's solid, man. He has potential. He has a lot of potential.
yeah, because we gonna talk about the tight ends and all the offensive guys later, but
Look forward to it.
I feel like the tight ends leave a lot to be desired, but I feel like Stephon Sullivan is like he taking baby steps to that next level. So I don't know.
Agreed.
We'll see. But anyway, we'll move on. This is the chart. I did not update the Super Bowl rings because I just looked at the years that they were there and I didn't realize. So I got to update the Super Bowl championships for some of these guys. But this kind of rounds out the coaching staff, man. Pretty solid look here.
Yeah. I saw somebody in the chat and I agree with it. They said the alignment is alignmenting. And it's true.
Funny.
The alignment is definitely there. I'm excited to see how this is going to work.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to all our Patreon members, man. Patreon.com/PantherNationPC. Hit us up if you want to support the channel. Become an MVP. Where we do giveaways, and I do owe y'all a giveaway. I did not get a chance to go through my stuff. I keep delaying it. My bad. I'm gonna get to y'all. I promise I'm gonna get to it. I got to go through my box of jerseys and stuff. What I wanted to do was give away a Peppers jersey, but I got to see if I have an extra one because I can't give away my OG. So if I got an extra one, I want to give away my Peppers jersey. So hang that. My bad. Hang on to that. My bad, Rob. I didn't catch that one either, man. My bad. Pause on that. Major pause on that. We don't want to desire tight ends, man. My bad. Pause. Major pause. Shout out. Yeah, facts. Shout out to the franchise and shout out to the free agents, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all support. And if you're not a Patreon member, man, just do us a favor. Go to Underdog Fantasy. Sign up using that code PNP, man. It helps the channel out tremendously. I'm not gonna go on a tirade about Underdog, but just help us out, man. Y'all know what time it is. Help out the channel. You don't gotta become a Underdog. You don't gotta become a Patreon member. Just sign up at Underdog Fantasy. That helps out as well. All right. Now, let's keep this thing moving, man. So we're gonna go through position group by position group, and I know it's kind of hard to see, so I apologize if it's too little. But we're gonna take a look at this stuff, man, and we're gonna go again position group by position group. You can see it up there. I've got red, so red is major need. Yellow is okay. We tiptoeing that line. We need something, but I could see us finagling some things to make it work. And green means we straight. We straight in that position. For me, interior offensive line is a major need. And I know what y'all are gonna say. Let me cook. But Shad, we got Christensen coming back. But Shad, we got Corbett coming back. Nah, fam. I'm cool, bruh. I'm cool on that. We need some insurance. And I'm not talking about Zavala, and I'm not talking about those guys. All due respect, I think Zavala got a couple years before he can be a real contributor. Same with Nash. They've shown some sparks, and maybe they come back. Maybe they come back and have some solid sophomore seasons. But for me, I need some experience at the interior. Nobody's safe. I'm talking about center. I'm talking about two guards. Everything. Shout out to Cat. Everything. Okay. Listen, it didn't hit me. If you go back and listen to the pod with Smitty when we went on the Underdog Fantasy, went on Cut to It with Steve Smith, and he said, "Yo, you gotta have that interior offensive line stacked because guys like Bryce, they small. You gotta protect them. You cannot have pressure in the quarterback's face." Okay, pause. They said the tackles are important, yes, but that interior, bruh, is where we need to put some resources too. So for me, it might damn near need to be gutted, and we might need to start from scratch, bro. And I understand. Listen, I understand. Maybe we gotta find that right combination. Maybe it's moving Bozeman back to guard because he played guard with the Ravens. Maybe it's getting us a new center. Maybe it's getting us. Maybe the shuffle is shuffling some things around. But for me, we got to get this interior offensive line right. Carlo, what you thinking, man?
Bro, you was preaching, man. I was going to pass the offering plate. No, I completely agree with you, bro. I think that this is a very like I had a chance to meet a few of these guys and super nice guys in terms of people, right? Like Austin Corbett, really cool guy. I think that he's a solid guard. I think just coming off of 2 injuries, like you tore your ACL and then you tore your MCL, it's going to be very tough. And I do not want him to rush getting into it. Can he be a great guard? Yeah, he could be a very solid guard. But I think we need, like you said, insurance there. Christensen, I think he is good, but at the end of the day, like you said, I'm not going to put all my eggs in this particular basket. I think that we need some veterans. I think that McCray is not it. I think that Savala needs more time. And I think right now Nash Jensen is still kind of early to say too. So I'm not going to sit there and say that either one of them, like Savala or Nash, are like washed. We don't know, right?
We don't.
That was the first season. But I do think that we can get some good people in free agency that I think we should definitely look at. I forgot that Bozeman played guard. I'm curious to see how that will work. I think we can get another center. I see people in the chat talking about Jackson Powers Johnson. I don't know if he's going to be there at 33. He's a mauler. Like he's like that, and I don't think he's going to be there. And why am I'm doing the
you're doing the Dave.
Yeah, I'm doing the Dave. Let me chill. I don't think he's gonna be.
You're going to be shooting lasers in a minute,
right? I was like, yeah. But all that to say, man, like one thing that I appreciate about Dave Canales is what he did with the offensive line for the Buccaneers. If we all didn't pay attention to that, Tristan Wirfs went from right tackle to left tackle. He also shifted a few people who played tackle to guard. Like he definitely shifted based off of Baker's play style, based on what worked in terms of his scheme and what worked best for that particular team. So with that being said, like I think that don't be surprised if we see that happen to the Panthers where things are switched around.
That's a great point. The answer, and I'm not saying these guys need to go. Right? Nobody's saying Bradley Bozeman needs to get out of Carolina. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and again, it may be that some people were right all along with Icky, right? Maybe he is, and I've said he's going to be an elite guard. He could be an elite. When we drafted him, I said he could be an elite guard. Okay, so maybe it is. Maybe he gets moved inside. Okay, and maybe the answer is on the roster. Maybe that's the case, but I do expect Canales to play around with these offensive line configurations until he gets the right one.
Yeah.
Do you see us grabbing any of these top free agents? Do you see us spending? Because here's the deal. We're focused on free agency, right? That's what we're focused on. Do you see us shifting any money? Cap space is limited. Do you see us moving any money into any of these top 10 guys?
I think it really depends on what Dan Morgan and Brand Tillis does in terms of restructuring and potentially cutting people. I know we're going to get into this later, but cutting Dante Jackson gives us a lot of money for cap space. So yeah, I think we will get someone. I don't know if they're going to spend a lot. So some of the people here who are pretty high, like the Robert Hunt, he's projected to get 17 mil.
And that's per year, by the way. So these numbers are per year, not the full contract.
I don't see that.
17 million per year is a lot of money.
I don't see that. Right, that's 17 year per mil. Like, no, I don't see that happening right now. Now, granted, interior offensive line is very important for Bryce, and to protect him. So I mean, it really depends on what they do with wide receiver too. It's like if we look at a wide receiver, that's going to be a lot of money. What else are you going to do? So I can see us going for one of the smaller projected contract year people. But I don't know. I don't think they're gonna spend big in free agency.
Yeah, Damian Lewis is an interesting one. You got to keep an eye on Damian Lewis. He's from that LSU squad. He's a mauler. He came from Seattle, so you start to see those connections not only with the coaches,
Okay,
yeah, but with the players. So Damian Lewis, he's young, 27, not the greatest PFF score, but he's more of he got better in pass sets, but more of a run blocking kind of mauler type. But we'll see, bro. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Do I see us grabbing another center? Bro, I don't know. I don't know, man. I do not know. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued on what we do with Bozeman because some of y'all points may be right. Bozeman, maybe it was the fact that the guards beside him were trash, so he couldn't, he couldn't play to his best ability because he's too worried about something else happening on the opposite either side of him. You know what I mean? So that could be a factor. Maybe once Bozeman has some solid guards beside him, he elevates his play. I'm not a trench guy. Never will claim to know how the trenches work. Not about to sit up here and analyze it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with Bozeman if the guards can get better. But for me, we got to do something with the interior of this offensive line.
Yeah. And I think I'm more concerned about the guards than center. Like I would keep Bose since he just, we just signed him back. I would focus on the guards and see what Bozeman does. That's what I would do.
All right. We'll keep it moving. All right. Here are the offensive tackles. So offensive tackles, I have a yellow up here, meaning we might be all right. And I think the large part of that is because of Taylor Moton. Like Taylor Moton has been very solid with Carolina. Icky, again, we just talked about it. Could we move him into a guard, right? If we move him into guard, that leaves a gaping need, right? You can't, left tackle is not something you could play with. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's some guys out here. I mean, I don't see us going out here and getting a Tyron Smith or Trent Brown. I mean, and those guys can play later into their career, right? We see what my man Trent Williams is doing out in San Francisco. He's playing a long time at an elite level. So these guys can play for a long time. I don't know if we're gonna go out there and get a left tackle, bro. I don't know. They're not cheap. I mean, you could take a flyer on a guy like Mekhi Becton, but hell, he was trash, and I ain't gonna say trash. Trash is harsh. He wasn't very good, and he didn't play up to the expectation. You all want to talk about Icky Becton. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do here, bro. It's tough.
It is.
You're gonna be if you wait until the draft, you're probably gonna get second round players. That means you're probably better off sticking with Icky, or maybe giving Daggone Christensen a try. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do, bro. Trent Brown is interesting. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Well, I mean, it really depends on offensive line, which is I think that's Harold Goodwin, right? I think he did a phenomenal job over there. No, is that Gilbert? I can't remember who it was, who was our offensive line coach. Either way, they did a really good job with the Bucks last year and what they did. So I have faith that they could truly coach them how it needs to be. And I think the biggest difference between Canales and how he wants it versus Frank is that Frank was trying to fit the scheme based on he was trying to fit his scheme based on the players. And I think this one is Canales is going to look at the players and definitely basically create the scheme based on the players, not trying to fit his scheme with the players. So with that being said, maybe he will realize after watching film, after speaking with the players, what works best for our offensive line. So with that being said, I could see us going to get maybe a Mekhi Becton just for insurance purposes. But at the same time, we still got Ricky Lee, still got David Sharp. Maybe there is an opportunity to coach these people up. But based on money and what we need, I don't see them moving Icky.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either, bro. I think I saw an article somewhere where they were talking about moving Icky, but again, it to me it's just like you're okay. You move Icky, who's gonna play better? Like
Right.
you're gonna sign another mid guy to play. Like it doesn't.
Right.
Okay, you might improve the interior, which could make everything better. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the thought process. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do here, but I'm gonna be very intrigued come mini camp, OTAs, all that stuff to see the configurations of the offensive line,
Mm-hmm.
and even free agency. Like, what are we gonna do? Like that first move, that first chess move. I think the first sign is gonna dictate a lot. It's gonna show us a lot, and where this franchise is heading. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Uh, it, Becton, Icky, it sounds nice on paper, but
Does it? I mean,
y'all,
like,
y'all, y'all
it's
throwing y'all throwing around Becton like he would like he listen. If he was that great, injured or not, if he was that good, man, he wouldn't leave. Little good left tackles they don't hit the market very often.
and that's what
You
we
know what
have
I
to
mean?
remember.
It's very rare.
Very rare, unless they are requesting a trade.
Yeah.
If they're requesting a
Yeah.
trade, then yeah. But at the end of the day, man, I think good coaching is important, and I think that we have some alignment there in terms of what Canales wants to run versus what the coaches will coach. So I mean, we'll see, man. I think maybe Icky just had a sophomore slump. These things happen. Like
Maybe.
these things happen. So we'll see. I think, like you said, in turning your offensive line is more important.
All right, agreed. Let's move on to tight ends. Tight ends. Again, I have a yellow here simply because I don't know. Like I don't. It's not like I feel like Stephon Sullivan is the wild card. We just talked about him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He showed some progress this year. Even in training camp, when I saw him, I was like, all right, they get him the football. But now you got a new regime in here. How do they feel about Stephon? Right? Do they think they get the same thing out of him that the previous coaching staff was trying to get out of him? I don't know the answer to that. And so until I'm not putting my eggs in the Hayden Hurst basket I mean, I love Tommy. I think Tommy is like a good complementary tight end. Like he's a
Mm-hmm.
good blocking tight end. He's a guy like you could put at fullback. You can put him at H back. You can put him in a multitude of different places. But I don't know, and I think he could catch some passes in the in the off chance that he gets a football thrown to him. But I don't see teams like scheming around or trying to figure out how to stop a Tommy Tremble.
Right.
Like we need that real wide receiver threat or excuse me, tight end threat that
You
is
need Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen. Yeah, that you need a real receiving tight end threat. That's what we need, and we haven't had one since Greg Olsen was here. And even if you look at what Canales did with their tight ends, they were getting some love. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but they had some tight ends that were getting some love. Pause on that. But I just yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
But
get you in chat.
yeah, I know. But yeah, Stephon, I think could be that. He's developing into it. We'll see. We'll see, man.
I think a lot of people are like in terms of their analysis, I think that they are pretty tough on Hayden Hurst. And I think some of it probably isn't his fault. I think that in terms of scheme and everything, I think it kind of changed. I felt like it was at first the plays were leaning heavily towards Hayden Hurst in the beginning. And then it kind of shifted towards Adam Thielen because he was catching everything. And so I think it kind of changed. But I'm not gonna lose hope on Hayden Hurst. I think Hayden Hurst has a lot of potential. We've seen what he's done at Atlanta or Cincinnati. I think that somebody said Hayden Hurst never played it down for it. Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes,
He did. He scored Bryce's first touchdown.
Yeah, he did. He was cooking a little bit, like you said, and
Right.
then
And
things
then
kind
I
of
think
went away from him.
injury. Yeah, I mean, like he had a really terrible injury, like lost some of his memory type of injury. So I think that having Hayden Hurst on contract, developing Sullivan, I think Ian Thomas got to go.
How is he still here, bro?
He got to go, bro. I'm sorry. Like, and I don't say like, look, shout out to the man, but he got to go, bro. And the fact that he got a contract out of it, but he's got
Bro,
to
what?
he's got
How
to go, bro. And
bro, yeah,
they had him on just because of his blocking skills. Like
bro.
I think Tommy Tremble showed, like, and Tommy Tremble, like he's been grinding, bro. Like we've seen him at training camp staying after with Chuba. Like he's solid. So yeah, I think Tommy Sullivan and Hurst, like I think we can make something work there.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So I'm excited about again Stephon Sullivan, and I agree with y'all are saying in the chat. Yo, Tommy is developing.
Yes.
And I think Helen Keller's dog said something good about here. Don't forget last year Tommy Trimble said that that was the first time tight ends were being coached legitimately.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think she goes on to say, or he goes on to say, I think a year of adequate coaching will do Tommy Trimble a world of good. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. It's a great
Yeah.
point. Great point.
Point.
Great point. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Wide receivers. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is where like things get true because I do think we need so I got it red. And red meaning we need a true wide receiver one. We don't have it. I've been on record saying that I love Thielen, and if Thielen was our top receiving threat, we were going to be in trouble. Why Adam Thielen needs to shift to wide receiver 3. Like he needs to be that guy that is super dependable. Nobody's really kind of flying on the radar. You kind of use him when when you need him. Mr. Third Down, like you said, I think that's where Adam Thielen needs to be. That needs to be his role in this offense. If not, I wouldn't mind even for his sake shipping him up out of here. Mm-hmm. Not because of his talent, but to you let him go out there and kind of fly off into the sunset and get him a ring somewhere. Yeah. So like, yeah, I like Thielen, and I think Bryce needs that type of safety blanket on the roster. If you take Thielen off this roster, who the hell takes it? That's where I get nervous about. People keep throwing around trading Thielen, but yeah, we need Thielen. Like we need him, but I don't think he should be option 1.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. Right. Mingo developing again. If you listen to Steve Smith in our podcast, he said Mingo's a 3-year project. So I agree with that. I think he's shown some progress a little bit here and there. He's got a little ways to go. I think year 3 is where he will peak. Terrace Marshall. Now, will he? And again, new coaching staff. He might catch a new spark. This is going to be a contract year for him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not putting my eggs in that basket either. Again, all these guys are just mid. Like there's no true guy that we need to game plan for week in and week out. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're going to spend some money, is this where you do it?
Absolutely.
So who you got, Carlo?
So I think first I want to say I definitely agree with your analysis on Thielen. I look, especially since I play fantasy football, like Minnesota, Adam Thielen back in the day, dog. And I was hoping that he would not be wide receiver 1. I was hoping he would be in that Jericho Cotchery role of like third down, Jericho Clutchery, who to go to get that first down. And he stepped up though. Like shout out to Thielen for stepping up, for playing at an elite level, getting to 1,000 yards. But like he came here to compete, and if he wants to leave, then I would love to ship him somewhere where he can chase a ring. With that being said, man, I agree with the Jonathan Mingo piece. I think that he will have a better season this year. I do agree with the Smitty on the 3-year development piece. I was hoping for more from him, at least a touchdown, but we didn't get to that piece. Now this is tough, man. We look at the top 10 free agents, man. I think I'm assuming the yellow means franchise tag.
Franchise tag. Yep, they got tagged.
Yeah, and I agree. I think everyone wants T. Higgins, and I'll be sitting here lying and saying if I didn't want him either. Pause. But I think that T. Higgins is definitely going to be franchise tagged. Michael Pittman, I think he will be franchise tagged as well, even though he said he wants to explore free agency. I don't see them letting him go just because of his age, how good he is, what he means to the organization. So with that being said, man, this is hard. I've been going back and forth on like who I would pick here. If Mike Evans is available, I mean, you got to go. But even though he is 30 years old, maybe even 31 now, you have to explore that option. 10 years, 1,000 yards each. You got to explore it. The other person that intrigues me, two people on this list that really intrigue me. One is Gabe Davis. I would give Gabe Davis a 1-year prove it deal. One thing, I was watching Underdog Fantasy video, Josh Norris on there, and he said that and I know everyone uses this term ever since Dan Morgan said this, but all his teammates say he is a dog. They say he's a dog, one of the hardest working people in the locker room, one of the strongest people in the locker room. So Gabe Davis would definitely be somebody that I would probably give kind of like that DJ Chark contract of like a prove it deal. I think he has a lot of potential there. And then the other person would probably be, well, actually, I got two. This is either or, would definitely be either Hollywood Brown, who I think is a underrated, solid route runner. Or let's go with Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I was gonna say Calvin gotta be up there. Yo,
Calvin Ridley, bro.
Calvin Ridley is somebody, because again, when you talk about route running and the ability to separate, I always said it. You can either beat somebody with speed or you can beat somebody with route running. We don't have a route runner on this other than Thielen. He's getting up there though. We don't have those type of separators. Yo, Calvin Ridley can do that. I like Calvin Ridley a lot. So I would check Calvin Ridley out, man. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying I don't see the Jaguars are in a very, very tough situation, right? And look, shout out to Atlanta. This was a heck of a deal, bro. Like if you're going to trade Calvin Ridley, who was basically at one point your wide receiver one, you set up a deal to say, hey, look, you got to give us a 3rd round pick. However, if you sign him to a contract extension, you owe us a 2nd round pick. And so I don't see them losing. And I think that like it goes from like it's like a 50 pick range, right? Like 3rd round to the 2nd round. 2nd round is going to be like I think it's in the top 50 if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think the Jaguars are going to sign him to an extension because they don't want to lose that 2nd round pick. So with that being said, like he may be a free agent, and so why not? Now, granted, Calvin Ridley is a bit up there in age as well, but I think he's still in his prime.
Yeah, he's still in his prime, bro. Wide receivers can go, but yeah, Mike Evans, man. I think if you could find a way to make it happen, he is a walking 1,000 yards, bro. Like it's guaranteed he's gonna get 1,000 yards.
Yes,
yeah, he's a bucket. He's a bucket. So, I mean, if you can find a way, that's why he's the icon of this or the thumbnail for this video.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to get him. I don't know. It's a lot of money. We talked about, Brian Burns being that tag is $23 million per year for 1 year. Hell, Mike Evans is projected to get $23 million per year. So it's a lot of money, bro. It's a lot of money, but you gotta get Bryce some weapons, bro. You gotta get Bryce some weapons.
Could be that Chris Godwin. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you think about Canales and how he, like, if you look at his teams, he's always had a tall receiver and someone who is like that shifty route runner, right? You think of like DK and Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
And you got Mike Evans and you got Chris Godwin. So I could tell that that's what he likes.
Yeah, man. I like it too. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see, bro. I mean, Marset, I like, who's still on the roster. Give him a shot. He was cooking a little bit towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I like him.
But at the end of the day, man, we got to get better. Chark is probably going to end up walking. Yeah. It sucks.
I mean, I know we're probably not going to talk about it, but I would love Brandon Ayuk on the team.
Oh, well, yeah. Through a trade, you got to figure out how to get him. I got to look at his contracts. Yeah, see what he looks like from a contract standpoint. Let me look at that real quick.
Yeah, I know he's a 1st round, so maybe he has another option, but I don't know if they picked it up or not. But I would love Ayuk on the team for sure.
Look it up real quick. You got a 4-year deal. Oh no. So he
He's on his
is
rookie deal.
no he's on the he's on the last year of his deal.
Okay.
This was his franchise tag year.
Mm,
This year is his franchise tag year, right? Or 5th-year option or whatever. And then next year is where he becomes an unrestricted free agent.
got you.
So yeah. So they already picked up his franchise tag year, so he's already locked in. Getting him off of that is gonna be tough.
Oh yeah, we'll see what they do. But Ayuk would be fired. But if not, I think I like the Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley look. I don't think Calvin Ridley would get that much. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think Tyler Boyd is not like. I think that's somebody that we should look into as well. I think he may be one of the cheaper options, but I hope we don't go cheap here.
I need WR1, and yeah, I need
Nice.
true wide receiver one.
Yes.
I only think that there's really only to me a couple of options. Ridley, I think, is a true wide receiver one,
Yep.
and I think Evans, outside of T Higgins and Pittman, obviously. But after that, you start to get into some guys that are like, all right, they're fringe guys,
Yeah.
and we've been dealing with fringe for a long time. Let's
Have
get
we
us
though?
a true guy.
Has it been
Yeah.
fringe?
Well, not even friend. I mean, I think DJ was wide receiver one. Don't do that.
You said DJ was wide receiver one?
What? Yeah, he
In
was.
Jacksonville? Or you talking
I'm
about for
talking about.
Carolina?
I'm talking about DJ Moore
Oh, I thought
for
I
Carolina.
thought you meant DJ Chark.
No, DJ. No, I'm talking
But you
about.
said DJ, I was like, that's why I looked at you like that, bro.
DJ Moore. No, DJ
Oh,
Moore was wide
absolutely,
receiver
bro.
one.
Yes.
I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. We've dealt with.
I know. I get you saying.
Last year, yeah, last year we've been dealing with some mess. We need a true wide receiver one.
Yeah, man. DJ Moore was a dog.
Yeah, for sure. And people didn't want to say he was wide receiver one. Dave didn't.
No, he was definitely wide receiver one. He's proven it in Chicago.
Yeah,
he's like that.
For sure. All right. Next up, we got running backs. Interesting. Like when you look at this, man, I really think we got an RB1. I think Chuba should be crowned as the RB1. I don't think there's any debate. If you look at the games last year, Chuba is in his bag. It's a contract year for him. So I expect him to eclipse finally that 1,000 yards, yard season this year, this coming up season. Again, Canales likes to run the football when he can. I know they didn't. They tried to do it last year with the Bucs, couldn't quite do it. But Chuba is RB1, bro.
Yeah.
But I think we need a short yardage back.
Yes.
Miles Sanders, we got to get him out of here. I'm sorry. Miles Sanders.
How though, bro? How I
don't know.
That's the only thing. That contract is nasty work, bro.
It is nasty. But he it's no point having Miles Sanders here, bro. He's not a power back. He dances too much. He might as well be on Dancing with the Stars, bro. Not on our roster. Because he give me Chuba and let's go out there and find a true short yardage back that can move a pile. We ain't got it. I added AJ Dillon to the bottom of this list because I think AJ Dillon would be a perfect complement to Chuba in a rotational standpoint.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. There's a couple guys I like up here, but we gotta get another guy in the building that can move a pile.
Carson said Miles Sanders is a dance dad. That is funny.
Hey, yeah, man. He's definitely my man said they be dance revolution back there. Yeah, we need. But shout out to Chuba though. Chuba is definitely getting in his bag. Chuba's definitely gotten better and better and better each year, and I expect him to not peak, but I expect him to have his best year yet in Carolina next year for sure. He's truly RB1. Deserves the reps as RB1, but again, I'm always going to be a proponent of having a rotation. So we need to get another running back there, preferably one that can move a pile. People keep bringing up Eckler. I'm cool on Eckler. Honestly, I think Eckler is talented, but that's cool. I'm cool on that. I think Chuba can do not everything Eckler can do, but a lot of what Eckler can do. His hands are getting better. But we need to get a pile mover. You need to get a pile mover, and you can get one in the draft. It don't got to be in free agency. I just have those guys here. People talk about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry still might get a bag. This ain't $10 million per year for King Henry, even though he's 30 years old and slowing down. Yeah,
he's getting it back. Where two things. One, you talked about draft. I would love Braylon Allen from Wisconsin.
Love him.
Braylon Allen will be really solid. I just don't know if he'll be there whenever we pick. The other thing I would say is, where's Deontay Foreman? Is he a free agent? Is there an opportunity for us to bring him back?
Let's check it out.
I think that's the piece I will look at, because like I'm looking at the running back class here. I mean, the running back free agents. And I think the only person in terms of short yardage that I like is the AJ Dillon piece or Zach Moss. Zach Moss 8 this year.
Yeah, he did.
But everyone else, I'm just like, like it's basically what Chuba can do. Like I would say, oh, we need a pass catching back. Chuba has gotten so much better at pass catching. And I'm trying to think I'm trying to think in my head as you were speaking was like, is there a team that needs a running back, right? Who we can potentially trade Miles Sanders? I just don't think
ain't nobody taking that contract, bro. Nope. Yeah, ain't nobody taking that. We are stuck.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Stuck with that joint. Yeah, we're stuck with that joint. Foreman is a free agent, by the way. I checked. He is a free agent. So he is an option. I like Foreman a lot. We know we had a little small dose of double trouble back in the day with Wilkes and Chuba. I like it. I'm not mad at that at all. Not mad at that at all.
And I think based on his stats and everything, I know he was looking for the bag, but like one thing that pissed me off too is that like I think he got like a $3 million deal, $4 million deal.
Bro, he only got paid $1.5 million. Oh, that was his base. That was his base, but he signed a 1 year, $2 million deal last year. $2 million. And we ended up signing Miles Sanders for a bag, and we could have had double trouble back.
And look, here's the thing, man. Like, we'll like maybe like this is Carlo being optimistic here. This is not realistic by any means. But maybe Miles Sanders gets better. Maybe he has a better year. Maybe it was a lot going. Who knows? But we'll see. Like, I think that I'm hoping for the best, man. Like, prove me wrong, Miles, please.
Yo, he lost. He lost already. Like, you can't get better because you're not taking RB1 back. You were paid like an RB1, and you lost that job, and you're not getting it back. Chuba's outplaying you, bro.
But that means, but why would you keep him as RB2 with that contract? That's the only thing I'm trying to figure out.
You ain't got a choice. You could probably try to June 1 cut him, but it's a mess. It's a mess. That was a bad. It's not good.
Yeah,
not good. But anyway, it's ugly, and I'll take a look at some of those cap scenarios probably on another video. But it ain't pretty from a running back perspective. But Chuba is RB1. He's playing like RB1, but get him a compliment.
Yeah,
get him a compliment.
This
get him a
year for Chuba.
It is. Yep, he's gonna ball, bro.
Oh yeah,
this is gonna be his best year.
Yeah, he's gonna go crazy. He's going to go crazy. Absolutely.
Yep. All right, and then finally we got quarterback position. That's going to be the final position of the day because we're going to take a look at the defense side of football next week. And just a heads up, free agency doesn't start until the 13th of March. So we got, I think it's the 13th or 15th. I can't remember the exact date.
15th.
But yeah, I think it's 15th. But yeah, so shout out to free agency. Yeah, we just a little ahead of the game because I wanted to break this up into separate videos. But yeah, quarterback. I think we good on quarterback. Again, even though some of y'all might not feel that way, I think we at least owe Bryce Young another year under this regime, under this new coaching staff. These guys that know how to coach. We owe it to Bryce. And again, nobody's saying he's going to be elite. He's going to play at an elite level. But we know there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes and around him as an organization. It was not pretty. We didn't support him like he needed to be supported. And for that, he played like it. You know what I mean? So we need to see what he can do with improved talent around him and improved coaching. And let's see what we got. Let's give him a fair shot and a clean slate because everybody that was here deserves that because that's how bad we were. You know what I mean? So thought some quarterback.
Even Miles Sanders deserves a clean slate shot?
No. He
got you say everybody?
No, not him. I take it back.
Hey.
Everybody but him.
Everybody but dang. All right. Well, no.
Because only reason with him is because going back to Miles Sanders, the only reason why is because we've seen what we got in Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders has a track record. He played behind one of the best offensive lines put together in Philly. and he played very well behind said offensive line. Put him behind a trash offensive line. The results are what they are, but that doesn't mean you should be getting paid what you are. You know what I mean? Like that, the production, what we're getting from you, even behind a bad offensive line, it wasn't just, it was not a good contract. Period.
So here's my question for you though. Do you think that, okay, we saw what DeAndre Swift did with the Eagles offensive line. Say that we got DeAndre Swift. Do you think he would do a lot better than Miles Sanders did here?
I think Swift would be a little bit more improved.
Okay.
But again, I think that offensive line in Philly was so good that, you know, it makes everybody look good. Like that's just the nature. That's how it works. When you got good blocking, that's going to open up things, and you're going to be able to do more things with said good blocking. But when you put Chuba and you put Miles Sanders side by side with the same offensive line, and you see Chuba out here cooking and Miles Sanders not, and then add the context to where he played behind a great offensive line in Philadelphia, the math ain't mathing to me. So I've seen all I need to see for Miles Sanders. I'll pass.
No clean slate for Miles.
No.
All right, you heard it here first, y'all. No clean slate for Miles. All right, speaking of quarterbacks, man, no, I completely agree with everything you said here. I think the only thing I'm curious of is like if Andy Dalton will want to go somewhere else. One, because he came because of Frank. Two, I think he still seems like, and I think every backup quarterback or any backup player would feel like they should be a starter. So I wonder if he looks at like the landscape of the teams and see if it's an opportunity there. So I am curious on that piece. So if he does, let's say for an example, that he does go, I hope that they will bring in another vet to kind of help Bryce Young. Based on this list here, if it was a vet that could come in, maybe like a Jacoby Brissett. But who knows? Other than that, I think that we should all continue to give Bryce or any of the rookies that were here grace. I think that he will have a much better season than what we saw. I'm curious to see how training camp goes, what this offense will look like, what the scheme that Canales is cooking up. But Bryce here, man, like as much as like he says he doesn't look at social media, he's been hearing all the stuff that people have been saying. He's been seeing this crazy PR run that CJ Stroud is doing, going to the All-Star game, doing all these different things that could have been him if he played better. I think he's gonna use that as motivation, even though he says he's not internally motivated from that. I think he's gonna cook next year. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. And I'm not saying that he's elite. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that it's going to be better than what we saw last year.
Yeah, and I think with Andy Dalton, because Andy Dalton, people are asking about Andy Dalton and whether he wants to come back or not. That's a great question. We don't know what Andy Dalton's going to do. He is a free agent, so he can go sign somewhere else. I hope he comes back. I like Andy Dalton as a backup. I think he's solid.
Same.
But I don't know that he's going to want to come here, going to want to help develop Bryce. I don't know. I mean, really, if there's no other starting quarterback options, why not Carolina? You know what I mean? I
think he got a nice little contract for a backup. So
yeah, got last year. He technically got a 2-year $10 million deal, which expires. So he's got actually he's on the contract this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he got 2 years there. Yeah, he's good. That's why I said it's only through trade. Yeah,
my bad. He's back this year. My fault. So yeah, we ain't got to worry about Dalton. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he should be good. But yeah, I'm excited to see the new and improved. I think Bryce knows what he needs to work on, and for the offseason, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too. We'll see, man. Again, he deserves a clean slate. Not everybody. Miles Sanders, sorry, but we good on you. But everybody else, I think especially Bryce Young deserves a clean slate. And we'll see, man. Hopefully he cooks and he comes back. He comes back strong. We'll see. All right. So with that, I think that's all I had, y'all. That's all I have for today. Anything else we need to talk about, discuss? Anything I missed?
Not that I know of, man. I think this was definitely fun looking at some of the top 10 free agents. I'm very curious to see what Dan Morgan and Brant Tillis does. We had Mr. N on every deal before, and we saw how they operate for free agency. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go moving forward. I'm curious to see what the difference between Dan Morgan and Scott Fitterer is. And so I'm optimistic, man, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm excited. I think, those first free agent signings are going to be very telling. It's going to be very interesting how those deals are structured, what kind of personnel they're going to bring in. We're going to learn a lot, and I'm gonna be looking into all that. I'm overanalyze everything like I always do. So we'll see, man. I'm excited though. I'm really excited. I'm excited. The training camp is going to be in Charlotte. I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm excited about
I'm gonna
everything. So
I'm going to pull up with you, man.
hey, let's do it. Let's rock, man. But
Pull up with you.
outside. Gonna be
Facts.
super outside. Super outside now, bro. It's in Charlotte. So it's gonna be dope.
It's up.
Gonna be
It's
dope.
up.
All right, with that said, man, I actually got to run. I know y'all asking for a mock, but I got to get out of here. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments, all that good stuff. Again, if any news pops, will be on morning huddles. So stay tuned. I was gonna do one. Oh, real quick, shout out to NCAA football 2025. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
I'm gonna have to play you, bro. I'm definitely grabbing that game for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. I cannot wait, bro. I don't know how many y'all don't know how many years I wasted in my life playing that game. It's the only reason why I own a gaming system. I still have my PS5 right now collecting dust, waiting for that game. It's literally the only game I played, bro. Like I loved it. I love college football. Cannot wait. I'm excited. I know they dropped that teaser.
Fire, bro.
It's official. I was waiting for that because they was playing with it. And now it's out there. Cannot wait. I think they said May. Was it May that's when it's dropping?
I think so. I can't remember. It's about to be fire, bro.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Definitely.
And they dropped the jersey little mock-ups. Yeah, it was quick. It was quick in the in the promo trailer.
You building a Florida State dynasty?
Saw the Florida State, bro. What? What? Yes. And I hope they have the HBCUs in there.
Oh, that'd be gas. I hope they got the band too.
Nah, they ain't gonna. I don't think they're gonna do all that.
No,
but
why should be a DLC? You're gonna have to pay for that.
I'll pay. I don't care. I'll pay for it. Put it in there. Hey, they got me. I'll pay for that immediately. Put the FCS teams in there and put the tournament. I love it. Let's do it, man. I love that joint. It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. But yeah, man. That said, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell, get in the comments. I'm out of here. Carlo, appreciate you joining us, man. Make sure y'all pull up to the pregame on Thursdays.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be super dope. Carlo, tell them about the pregame real quick.
Yeah, man. So pregame podcast. It's my podcast along with Shad and then Vashti from Carolina Blitz. Is basically your fusion, your VIP pass to the fusion of sports and pop culture. We got a little bit of everything in there. We talk about a little bit of Panthers. We talk about everything from all sports, pop culture, anything viral going on. For Thursday, we're going to talk a little bit about the All-Star weekend, a recap. And then we got some hot takes, right? We're going to do a start bench cut. So we have a few different things of who you're going to start, who you're going to bench, who you're going to cut in terms of all pop culture things. So what I'll do is I'm going to drop in the chat if I can. I think I can. Let me do that real quick.
Just send it to me.
Okay, yeah, I probably just send it to you. I don't think I can get in there. But pause. But basically, there it is. I got it in there. Right. So I just dropped the YouTube link in the chat. Make sure y'all go subscribe, man, and come join. It's gonna be a vibe.
All right. With that said, man, we up out of here. We'll holler at y'all on Thursday if y'all pull it up to the pregame. All right. That's it. We out. Peace.